Hey nerds, today we're stepping behind the Hollywood curtain with Wonderman, Marvel's most unconventional series yet. When a struggling actor with superpowers he doesn't want meets a washed-up star desperate for relevance, we get a body comedy, a meditation on fame, a superhero origin story, maybe all three. Let's find out, starting now. Welcome back to the Nerd Social. I'm Nathan. As always, if you want to skip ahead of the intro to my analysis or rating, check the chapter links below. Wonderman represents Marvel's strangest swing in Phase 6, a meta Hollywood satire. Two actors who might seem like an unlikely pair, with Emmy winner Yaya Abdul-Mateen II and Oscar winner Ben Kingsley leading this 8-episode limited series. Marvel is betting audiences want something very different from the usual superhero fare. Let's dive a little bit deeper with the spoiler-free logline. Simon Williams is a struggling actor in the MCU version of Hollywood, where the biggest challenge isn't landing an audition, it's hiding the fact you have superpowers. Thanks to something called the Doorman Clause, powered individuals are banned from acting. When legendary director Von Kovic comes out of retirement to remake the classic superhero film Wonderman, Simon sees his shot at legitimacy. But so does Trevor Slattery, the disgraced actor who once faked being a terrorist. And these two form unlikely bond while competing for roles of a lifetime. Wonderman premieres January 27, 2026 at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully we'll have this video edited and out before then, with all 8 episodes dropping at once, Netflix style. This is only the second live-action MCU series to do a full binge release after Echo, but don't let that deter you. Episodes run 20 to 40 minutes, so you're looking at roughly 4 hours of content total. This series was created by Dustin Daniel Crinton, who directed Shang-Chi, and showrunner Andrew Gass, who previously worked on Community, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Marvel's Hawkeye. Crinton directed the first 2 episodes before handing off to James Ponso, known for The Spectacular Now and Shrinking. The next 2 episodes were directed by Tiffany Johnson, known for the comedy How to Die Alone. That show was really great. Shouldn't have been canceled. And Stella Maggie directs the last 2 episodes. She is known for The Photograph and Minx. This is a strong lineup of directors known for character work with actors in comedies, which is the main focus of this show. Our main cast consists of, as I mentioned, Yaya Abdul-Mateen II as Simon Williams / Wonderman. Abdul-Mateen brings his Emmy-winning intensity to the character, who's frustrated artist and reluctant superpowered individual. He's described Simon as a dream part that explores 3-dimensionality between past, family, and power. He's known for Candyman, but also he's not new to the superhero genre because he's also known for Watchmen and Aquaman. Kingsley reprises his role as Trevor Slattery. Kingsley returns to the role first played in Iron Man 3 over a decade ago, then again in the Crinton-directed Shang-Chi, now expanded into a full co-lead. He worked with the creators to develop Slattery's backstory, and his chemistry with Abdul-Mateen drives the series. Kingsley is known for a lot of things, but a short list might be Schindler's List, Sexy Beast, and the movie he won the Academy Award for, Gandhi. Demetrius Gross plays Eric Williams, Simon's older brother who appears to have his life together working in insurance while Simon chases Hollywood dreams. Comic fans know Eric eventually becomes a villain, the Grim Reaper. We'll see how it goes in this show, but you should definitely watch that relationship closely. He is known for Justified and Banshee. Zlatko Buric plays Von Kovic, an eccentric director described as a mashup Werner Herzog, Christopher Nolan, and Paul Thomas Anderson. Buric brings the same off-kilter energy he brought to Triangle of Sadness and Superman from 2025. Ex-Mayo plays Janelle James, Simon's Hollywood agent who believes in him, but is also very frustrated with him for getting in his own way. This apparently was supposed to be played by Ed Harris, but she does a really good job here. She is known for the comedy horror film The Blackening and the 2 short-lived sitcom American Auto. And finally, Adrienne Muyad plays Pete Clary. The Department of Damage Control agent returns from Spider-Man No Way Home, and Ms. Marvel, now tracking Simon as an extraordinary threat. Besides his Marvel work, Yaya is known for his work in Inventing Anna and his acclaimed work in Succession. Okay, I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper with an expanded analysis on this season, but before I do that, don't forget to like and share. It really helps the channel out. Okay, and with that, let's dig into this show. First thing you need to understand about Wonderman is that it's not really a superhero show in the traditional sense. It's a love letter to the art of acting. It's a buddy comedy about two actors at different stages of career failure. One never made it, and one who made it for all the wrong reasons, who form an unlikely friendship while chasing roles in the same film. The superpower stuff is there, but it's the background. If you're coming to this expecting Daredevil hallway fights, you'll be confused. And honestly, that's what makes this work. The show is self-aware, meta without being smug about it. Yes, it's commenting on superhero fatigue. There's a whole in-universe industry built around why powered people can't be actors. There's a really great episode about that, but it's doing so with genuine affection for both Hollywood and the MCU. It reminded me more of Midnight Cowboy than a Marvel property, which is a lot of sentence to say. Very early in the show, there's an actual movie screening where the two leads meet. That's the energy we're working with here. Compared to other Hollywood satires like the franchise or the studio, Wonderman is much more sincere. It's not cynical about the industry at all. It's celebrating the craft and the people who dedicate their lives to it, even when the industry doesn't love them back. So the performances, let me be direct here. This is some of the best character work and acting I've seen in any MCU property. Yaya and Kingsley are masters at the top of their craft, and they play off of each other with the kind of chemistry you really can't manufacture. Abdul-Mateen is revelatory as Simon Williams. He plays a character who is simultaneously overconfident and completely insecure. Someone who shows up to a one-line role with a page of character research and gets fired for caring way too much. Abdul-Mateen has been underused in projects like Aquaman and The Matrix Resurrections. This is his best showcase since Watchmen, and he absolutely runs with it. Simon is awkward, dorky, self-destructive, and deeply sympathetic. You root for him even when he's in his own way, just like his very frustrated talent agent. But the secret weapon here is Ben Kingsley. Trevor Slattery could have been a one-note joke, the disgraced actor from Iron Man 3, but Kingsley brings a genuine pathos to this man trying to rebuild his life. He's funny, yes, but he can switch to gravitas and vulnerability on a dime. There's a scene in the episode 6 that had me genuinely emotional and tearing up, and it's carried by Kingsley's performance. The chemistry between the two of them is magic. Their friendship, rooted in a shared, unrequited love for acting, is the emotional center of the entire show. These are two outcasts who recognize something in each other, and watching that bond develop is more compelling than any action sequence could be. In the supporting cast, Adrian Riyad is generally chilling as Agent Clary. For me, the character is written all over the place because he was a little bit more sympathetic in Miss Marvel, but I'll put that aside. He plays the government bureaucrat as a bit more desperate in this show, and his desperation is actually explained, so maybe that's the reason for the change. He plays a government bureaucrat as someone who's just doing his job, which makes him more unsettling than any villain. Demetrius Gross brings layers to Eric Williams, the stable brother who works in insurance while Simon chases dreams, though I wish I saw a little bit more of him. Their family dynamic is complicated and pretty well drawn, even if I wish I got more of it. So the superhero question. Simon's powers are treated as a burden, not a blessing. In the MCU's Hollywood, the doorman clause bans superhero individuals from acting. It's essentially discrimination wrapped in regulation. Simon hides what he can do because it would end his career before it starts. His abilities, superhero strength, speed, and many other things that I don't want to spoil are things he actively suppresses. This inversion works beautifully. Wonderman isn't a story about a hero learning to use his powers. It's about an artist who happens to have powers he never asked for and doesn't want. The show asks, what if the thing that makes you special is also the thing that prevents you from doing what you actually love. It's a surprisingly poignant take on the superhero genre. Here's what's exciting. By the end of the season, Simon is only beginning to understand and unlock his potential. Comic readers know that Wonderman eventually becomes one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe. Captain America describes him as Sentry-level strength. And you may remember the Sentry from one of Marvel's better films over the last few years, 2025's The Thunderbolts. In the comics, Wonderman has fought Thor and Hulk to a standstill. He can lift over 100 tons. His ionic energy form makes him virtually immortal. The MCU has introduced a character with a nearly unlimited ceiling. Beyond the reality warpers in the MCU, we're watching the ground floor. When the powers do emerge, and they do, it's treated with weight and consequence rather than spectacle, for the most part, until the very end. This isn't the boys' level of deconstruction, but it's thoughtful about what powers mean in a world and an industry that fears them. Simon may be one of the strongest new characters to enter the MCU, and the show wisely saves most of that reveal for future stories. So pacing and structure, the binge model works here. I watched it when I got the screeners earlier in the year, basically in one day. This is a character study that builds slowly, letting relationships develop naturally. Weekly releases might have frustrated viewers expecting more action, but watching it all at once, the pace feels deliberate rather than slow. Each episode has its own identity while contributing to the larger story. The Hollywood-inspired titles, self-tape, callback, and found footage reflect different stages of an actor's journey. Episode 4, The Doorman, Episode 7, Kathy Friedman, are standouts for me. Episode 4 introduces Byron Bowers as Damar Davis. And for comic fans, this is Damar Davis from the Great Lakes Avengers. And that's a surprisingly touching hour that sort of explains the situation in MCU's Hollywood. Episode 7 goes into Trevor's backstory and earns its emotional payoff. 8 episodes ranging 20 to 40 minutes. The whole thing clocks in around 4 hours. It feels appropriately sized, complete without overstaying its welcome. I wanted more with these characters, and I hope to see them again very soon. So how does this fit into MCU continuity? This is a Marvel Spotlight title, which means minimal homework is required. You don't need to have seen Iron Man 3 or Shang-Chi to follow Trevor's story. The show provides enough context through flashbacks and dialogue. The Department of Damage Control connects to Spider-Man No Way Home and Ms. Marvel, but again, it's self-explanatory. What I appreciate is the MCU elements serve the story rather than interrupting it. The Department of Damage Control aren't here to set up the next Avengers movie. They're here because the show is exploring institutional power and what it looks like when it targets people who are different. There is a genuine commentary on the prison industrial complex woven into the governmental subplot. There are some fun celebrity cameos that I won't spoil. Let's just say the show has a sense of humor about who's allowed to exist in MCU Hollywood, and the introduction of Doorman as a superpowered individual is a nice way to expand that corner of the universe. The show captures a very specific vision of Hollywood, not the glamorous red carpet version, although we get a little bit of that as well, but the grind of audition rooms, cramped apartments, and revival theaters. It feels lived in and authentic. The 4 directing teams each bring their own sensibility. Cretton's first 2 episodes establish the tone. Poinselt brings indie film intimacy to his episodes. Johnson handles the middle stretch with strong emotional beats. And Maggie closes it out with real visual confidence. This isn't a visually flashy show for most of the run. When the powers do manifest, the effects are solid but restrained for the most part. The emphasis is always on faces, performances, human moments, and that's the right call for this material. There are a few things that hold it back for me. First, I really enjoyed the specificity and care given to Simon's Haitian heritage, but I wish there were more scenes with his family, and specifically his dad. Shola Abdul as Martha Williams, who is best known for the show I Heart Abishola, and the father, played by Becker Sylvian, feel a bit underutilized. Although there's a very touching scene with his mother and Trevor Slattery that had me tearing up as well. The tension in the Eric relationship is great, but the parents exist more as context than characters. The dad in particular feels like a presence hovering at the edge of the story, and I wanted more time with it. Second, the show leaves some tantalizing mysteries unanswered. What happened to Simon's father specifically? How did Simon gain his powers? How long has he had to hide them? I found myself wanting to know a little bit more as a comic fan, wanted to see Simon again soon to get to the bottom of these questions. That's partly a complaint. The show made me care enough to want more, but it also means some threads feel unresolved. Third, there are moments, particularly in the middle episodes, where the show's modest scale works against it. It occasionally feels like it's playing things too safe, holding back when it could push harder. The ending is very satisfying, but perhaps not as powerful as it could have been with another episode to breathe. If you're coming to this for superhero action, you'll probably be disappointed. There's a little bit of that, definitely. The last couple episodes, that's not a flaw of the show. It's very clear about what it is, but it's worth setting expectations. This is a character drama with superpowers, not the other way around. These are minor complaints about a show that gets far more right than wrong. It's just that when something is this close to exceptional, you notice the small gaps that could have made it that much better. In my final estimation, season 1 of Wonderman earns a road trip, which is an 8 on our scale. And if you're unfamiliar with our scale, it is down below in the description. This is Marvel at its best, not because of the spectacle, but because of humanity. Wonderman succeeds by doing exactly what the best MCU projects do. It takes characters seriously, gives them room to breathe, and trusts the audience to care about people before powers. Abdul-Mateen II and Kingsley deliver some of the best performances in any Marvel TV series or movie, and their relationship is worth the price of admission alone. It was almost a 9 for me. Honestly, I like this so much. The writing is sharp, the performances are exceptional, and the show has something genuine to say about art, identity, and what it means to be seen. But a few undercooked family dynamics and an occasional modest scope kept it just short of top tier. That said, this is exactly what Marvel television should be doing. Not every show needs to save the universe or the city. Sometimes the most heroic thing is two broken people helping each other become whole. Wonderman understands that, and it's a better show for it. If you're experiencing superhero fatigue, this might actually be the cure. And if you're a fan of character-driven drama that happens to exist in a comic book universe, this is absolutely worth your 4 hours. I hope to see Simon Williams and Trevor Slattery again. The stories feel like they're only just getting started. If you've watched Wonderman, what did you think? Does this Hollywood satire work for you? How does Yaya, Simon Williams rank against other MCU characters? Does Ben Kingsley's Trevor Slattery deserve his own series? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and share. It really helps the channel out. And subscribe and hit the bell icon for more in-depth analysis of film and TV. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.